Skye Squad, we are back in the building, baby. Y'all, and the tea is piping hot today. It's piping hot. It is a smoking pot of tea and a cauldron full of mess. Yes. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Hit that notification bell button and join the Skye Squad membership community. I have an interview that I have not posted yet. It has been a while, and I'm going to update that in the membership community this week. So be on the lookout for that. With that being said, if you like reality TV related content, like this video, hit that like button, smash it, tap it, rub it down, all of that good stuff so we can get this engagement going. Let's get into the tea. Shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. All right, so before we get into today's video, let's talk about today's sponsor. Ladies, if you got a man and he got a little bush going on down there and it's getting out of control, and fellas too, listen, if you know your bush getting out of control, this is for you because it is officially smooth sack summer. So when you're playing in the summer sun, you want to make sure that you're groomed from your pubes to your bum, okay? Thanks to our friends over at Manscaped, you can now make this season the smoothest one yet. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate bundle to keep the boys cool while looking hot, okay? You know what I'm talking about. More than 10 million men worldwide trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. You're going to get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and use my code SKYE, that's SKYE. So we want to thank Manscaped today for being the sponsor of this video. So we had gotten some tea that it was indeed Dr. Heavenly that invited Apollo and his wife Shireen onto the cast trip. You guys remember that? Prompting Phaedra to ultimately leave because the wife allegedly read Phaedra down to the ground, okay? And Phaedra allegedly at that point was like chucking the deuces and told them ladies, allegedly, let me put the alleged badge up here, that she was out and she was going to play with the girls on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we got some tea on that as well. So stick around if you ain't already heard it, baby. So Dr. Heavenly took to her YouTube channel and she debunked this rumor, okay? She says it's a lie. It's all a lie. It was a scheme. It was a scheme set up by Todd to come to us with a BS.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
But who do you believe? You know, what I love about Dr. Heavenly is that we can always count on her to be in the center of the mess and then tell us about it. So she says that some people lie and some people put lies in the streets. Now, she does not really go into, you got to watch it. She doesn't really go into who brought Apollo onto the show. What she does say is this, something to this effect, that, you know, things that might fly on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the girls on Married to Medicine are smart. So that if they see something, they're going to say something and they're going to respond to it accordingly. She will not go into too much of the details right now because we have to wait for the season to air. And if Bravo, if you are listening, I don't know that you are paying attention to my channel, but I pray to God that you guys give us Married to Medicine. If not in go ahead and give it to us in October because I'm going to be traveling. I got a trip to Tokyo coming up. I got a trip to Bali coming up. We still got a couple of spaces left for Bali in September. So October would be good for me, you know, if you guys are, you know, wanting to adjust to my schedule. Bravo, go ahead and give us that Married to Medicine sooner rather than later because we don't want to wait. The tea is hot. there is so much going on with Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Atlanta in tandem. It would be a shame for us to miss out on this period of time where it is piping hot, right? Don't wait until months later when the tea is cold, right? Go ahead and drop it like it's hot right now, because Sunday nights are dry. Let's just be clear. Sunday nights are dry. I know we are recapping the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I mean, it's like watching a movie that you already know the end of. It's done. It's a wrap. Those girls are gone. It's kaput. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, okay, let's go back. Let's take it back forth and forth, back to Married to Medicine / Real Housewives of Atlanta, because things are interesting behind the scenes. Now, I don't know if y'all happened to catch Funky Dineva live last night, but Q dropped quite a bit of tea with regards to this story. So the tea that he dropped is that Apollo and Shireen, okay, showed up down to a boat or something to that effect. And apparently it got so bad that Shireen, Apollo's wife, I mean, which is interesting because we just had a story about some alleged DV going on with the two of them. So I don't know if Phaedra knew anything about that, or if anybody on the cast knew anything about that, since the ladies of Married to Medicine are so smart. I mean, they are smart. We know that because they doctors and they MSRMDs, okay? Shout out to Buffy Purcell for her MSRMD business. But did anybody bring that up? Because that case happened in March. I mean, well, that incident happened in March, right? With Apollo and Shireen, from what we have discerned from the interwebs. So my question is, did Phaedra bring that up? And is that why Shireen popped off? I don't know. All I know is that Q told us that Shireen tried to fight that girl, tried to fight Phaedra, and then Phaedra got to running. Now, I don't know if she got to running. I added that in there. But I would assume that, Phaedra not about that physical life, right? She might, remember that time she was about to pop Kenya with her pocketbook? Remember that? That was as close as we've seen Phaedra in a physical altercation. And Kenya was like, oh! And that was good though. So Phaedra allegedly at that point, there was some I don't feel safe vibes going on with production, okay? And I would say the same. Listen, if I'm on set and somebody tries to fight me, at this point in time, what am I fighting for? Like, what am I fighting? Why am I fighting my ex's new spouse who are also fighting each other? Okay, like, why would I do that? Anywho, so then she chucked the deuces, said, I'm going to play with the Real Housewives of Atlanta girls, and took a jet. I'm making this part up. Took a jet and headed on over to the cash trip. Now, that part is what Q actually did tell us, that Phaedra showed up around the cash trip time for Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that Real Housewives of Atlanta is mid to half, just about done with the season. We always know when the cash trip comes up, they only got like a little bit left to film, and probably like a month at that. So I wonder if Cynthia was also on that trip. Good questions. Good questions. The other bit of tea that we got from Q was that Quad's new man, I don't know what his name is, I think it starts with a K, got into it with Dr. G after Sweet T and after Sweet T and Quad got into it. So Sweet T and Quad gets into it, I don't know why, allegedly. And then it escalates to I think his name is King. Is it King? I don't know. Quad's new man, okay? Start with a K. K-Man. About to get to fighting with Dr. G, about to whoop up on him, And so I wonder if that is why we did not see Sweet T pictured in that finale shot, that TV. Y'all remember this shot? Let me pull it back up. Let me pull it back up for you guys to remember. Okay. So let us go back. I love it when we get the opportunity to just, pull some things together via speculation. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go to Purveyors of Pop's page where they actually talked about filming season 11 coming to a close. For those of you guys who are listening to the audio version, we're looking at a shot of the cast at what appears to be perhaps the cast trip, but we don't know. And we don't see Sweet Tea and Dr. G pictured in this photo. So we would have to wonder if she left after this incident. She and Dr. G might have left. Yeah. Because you see everybody else. And then the tea was, according to Q, that they couldn't film no more with Quad's man. So I got to find out more about that. Because they didn't know what you capable of, what you about to do. You new to the thing, and you around here about to fight. So what's up? What it is though. What's up? All right. So we just got to figure out what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna find out. But you know what? The question is, based on what we see here, my question to you is
it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you. Is it a coincidence?
Is it? So let's move on to the real, not the real, Love and Hip Hop. We are talking about season 12, episode 2. Serving Tea and Shade is the title of the episode. This came on last night. And the synopsis reads, because I feel like now that I discovered these synopses and the clues that they be given, I got to read that to y'all too. Jasmine's meeting with Kirk and Rashida leaves her feeling frostbite. Mama D's new endeavor gives Scrappy some food for thought. Finally out of the hospital and back on her feet, Sierra finds it's her friendships that are in critical condition. All right, we have got so much to discuss. Was this episode as good as last week's episode? Not so much to me, to be quite honest with you. It almost felt like something was missing. Like, I don't know what it was. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to give this episode an 8. I just felt like some of this I don't care about. And I'm just gonna be for real with you. But there were some points in this episode that did give me some aha moments about some things that have happened previously. Number one, we get into Carly is at home because Jessica White is living with her. I don't know what Jessica White is actually doing these days. Is she still working on the music, or is she just here for our comic relief? Regardless, I like her. She's a Cancer. So am I. And now I get her so much more. Okay. She is quirky. She is entertaining. And every show needs a lighthearted bit of like, WTF. What is she talking about? And I love it. Carly is talking about, she's upset with Bambi, but it sounds like she might be willing to forgive Bambi, but she was really on this kick about nobody better not be contacting my man, even in the DMs, even if it is about my birthday. And I'm like, girl, are you upset because she contacted your man, or are you upset because she brought her friends to your birthday and not your friends? Regardless, if the girl was DMing him about your birthday and you could probably see the DMs, don't nobody believe that Bambi want your man. Like, but I guess I get it. Carly expresses that she really is in this place of really wanting this relationship to work. And she is super scared that it is going to fall apart like all of the other 600 relationships that she's had on the show. So I get it. Girl. But at the end of the day, I mean, you got to ask yourself, if you find yourself in these situations on a continuous basis, conveniently every season, I mean, maybe it's a you thing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I would say to any of my friends. Like, is it you? What is happening here? Why are you selecting these people and it always be something crazy when y'all in? You know what I'm saying? Like that's a thing. You got a thing going on, and I don't know what it is. Meanwhile, Kirk and Rashida meets with Jasmine. Now, Jasmine ain't met up with Rashida in a minute, okay? And I don't even think she knew that Rashida was gonna be there. So she seemed very surprised. Nor is she pleased, okay? Now, I don't know really who's at fault based on the conversation as to why DFAX was called, but they really get into some issues about, whether or not Kirk is really adhering to their agreed upon, schedule for visitation, pickups, or amounts of money that is supposed to be given. I don't really know. Rashida encourages them to work this thing out, and Jasmine ain't really trying to hear anything Rashida got to say. I told y'all last week, if I was Rashida, I would just stay out of it. Y'all got to handle this situation. But it sounds to me like Rashida might want to be up in it, okay? Based on what we have found out in this episode, you might want to be all up in it at this point. Actually, I take back everything I said last week. You need to be there. You need to be supervising Kirk. You need to be supervising his phone too. Girl, listen. So they get into a conversation, and Rashida ultimately walks off. And I'm like, you might should have stayed. Hopefully you was around the corner, peeping, put with a glass to the ear or something like that, because based on this conversation, it's some things going on that you need to know about. So when she leaves, Kirk is like, well, when I come to pick up, the kiddo, are you gonna come to the door with your clothes on from now on? Because you like to show up at the door naked. And I'm like, so wait. Okay, so the baby in the living room, and she pranced to the door naked. How you doing, Kirk? You came to see me or the baby? So he says that she be coming to the door naked. She said, what? Never. You lie. Okay? And I'm like, who lying here? Who do I believe? I'm going to tell you what. I don't know, but I'm going to let you be the judge. You tell me who you believe. Because then she's like, oh, you want to go there? Okay. Well, you know what? How about because I got all the text messages. And Kirk says something that made me believe that she was right on the money about these text messages. And because he says something like, everybody, we all, and then she kind of cuts him off before she ends up storming off. And I'm like, Kirk, are you? Because later on, she's going to have a conversation with her girlfriend, and she's going to kind of spill the tea about, Kirk basically, almost like seemingly propositioning her, allegedly, to get more money than she would probably need to do more. They would need to be doing more intimate things. That's what I gathered from the conversations and from these text messages and from the way Kirk reacted. I'm looking at Kirk like, brother, what are you doing? Like, that's the situation. Like, I would listen. If you got to do any of this, why not do it with if you got to do it, why would you do a repeat on the situation that got you in this mess in the first place? Now, maybe it's familiarity. You know what I'm saying? Maybe familiar punani is really the way to go. I don't know. What I do know is that you about to be in a mess of trouble. You probably should not have said about that thing about her coming to the door naked on the TV, because now she's about to be on the warpath. Because I was wondering in the previews, I was like, why is she coming into this season with this, spilling this tea, this alleged tea about him, asking for the, sex and things like that via the text message. But now I understand it, because he put it out there that she was coming to the door drop naked. Okay. So it's this about to be a mess. And Rashida, you need to, you know what, you might need to micromanage them from this point forward. To be quite honest with you, you need to take a hiatus from Pressed, pick up his phone, micromanage. Either that or just let him cheat in peace. I don't really know. I don't know. Or this will solve everybody's problems. Rashida, you seem very responsible, okay? Just move Jasmine into the house. She could be the second wife, and everybody can just coexist, and at least that way you can monitor their interactions and make sure that the child gets to school on time. That's the solution. Okay, so Sierra is out of the hospital. You know, Sierra, to me, I understand exactly what Zell's issue with Sierra is, because a lot of what Sierra does feels to me to be very much, I hate the term clout, but it seems clout friendly, you know? Like when I saw that she had gone to the hospital because she had gotten this tattoo, and she had used this numbing cream, and just so happens that the numbing cream is hers. Like, she's coming out with the numbing cream. Wow, it worked so well that it sent her to the hospital. Now, the leg did look swollen, so I ain't gonna hold y'all on that, but it just seems rather like an extreme way to get some. And Zell said, well, it's very given much what happened with Spice. You know, Spice had the whole medical emergency, which I do believe was real, because that seems so like, that don't seem like nothing nobody would go through for the sake of just creating story. But sometimes I feel like some of these people on this show do things for the sake of the story. And Sierra, to me, honestly seems like one of those people. Now, that don't mean that I don't like her, because I do like her. I think she's fascinating, because I feel like she's one of those types of people that just willingly finds herself in mess all the time. And I feel like her life might be chaotic regardless. Speaking of which, Chaotic and Saucy Santana show up to her place. And, you know, she's upset and salty that nobody came to visit her. But it's like, girl, how many stunts and shows you going to do? And you think that people are going to continue to believe you? It's like the person who cried wolf. Like, is this real or not? I don't really know, because it's all on social media. That's the first thing you do. If I get hurt, if I go to the hospital, you know, the last thing that I'm doing is putting it on social media. I might tell y'all in a community post or something like that, so y'all will know, like, A, I'm okay, or B, this is why I ain't done no videos in 3 days, because I am up in the hospital. Y'all, I would do it like that, but it just felt gratuitous to me when I look back on it. So I feel like most of her cast probably felt the same way, to be quite clear. So she got issues, and she got issues with Zell because he didn't come visit her. Moving on, Saucy Santana meets with, I don't recall his name. What is his name? Let me see if they show it, because I got some of the clips open. Okay, his ex D. They go to the go-kart place. D, I guess, wants to get married to Saucy, and Saucy is like, I'm still for the streets. So that really, I mean, I don't know where that's supposed to go. I think D got a Saucy Santana tattoo or something like that. And I'm like, I mean, you know, sometimes for people, tattoos are just tattoos, right? You know, for me, I'm usually looking to build a constellation of art, right? That's how I look at it. And I just have never ventured to the place of getting somebody's name tattooed on me. I mean, other than my own. I mean, I have an R right here, but that's for Richie. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. All I know is that, you know, he talks about his mom writing the book, which I think is phenomenal. It's interesting to see Saucy on College Hill and then to see Saucy on here. Not that there's that much of a difference, but it's just interesting to me to see variations of, or extensions of, his personality. Bambi meets up with Jessica, and they have an interesting conversation about Carly. Jessica lets her know that, you know, Carly is open to some type of resolve with their situation, which is good. And Bambi is just kind of unsure because she feels like Carly is talking to everybody else but her. And then she tells Jessica that, you know, Carly be shading her and talking about how she take too many naps. And I'm like, you know what? Why is Jessica taking a nap such a bad thing? I mean, unless the girl is not making no coin and not contributing to the household, then you taking a nap. We might be looking at you like, okay, girl, it's time for sleep. There ain't no time for sleep. Okay, ain't no time for sleeping. What you sleeping for? You can't afford to sleep. But if she got the coin like that, then, you know, for me, I just kind of feel like, I mean, what is wrong with living a life of luxury where you can take a nap? Because a nap is a luxury. I mean, I live for a nap when I can take one. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I felt like I like Jessica. I think she is quirky but real. And I like how she is very real with the girls that she's friends with. I like that about her. I don't feel like she's putting on for the cameras any more than exposing the quirky side of her. Like, I don't feel like she's doing anything for clout per se. Like, I feel like in terms of her friendships. So I like her a lot. There is this idea that this storyline of Scrappy, Erica, and Mama D going into business together for a restaurant. I don't know why I'm not really interested in this story, but what I did find interesting is that when Mama D had a conversation with the three of them, she let them know, with the two of them, she let them know she really wasn't into the idea, because she indicated to Erica, kind of while Scrappy was right there, that he be late on stuff. That took me back to when Bambi said that the man was late on them payments for the rent. And now it makes sense. So I felt like, Mama D, you just done told on your son, because that's the first. Did y'all think that too? If you watched the episode when Mama D said you be late on things, I'm looking back like, now, Mama D, you know that when Bambi was saying these things, you knew at that point that it was true, but you was trying to protect your son. Now you outing him because it's with baby mama number one that you like. That was wild to me. And I'm looking at Scrappy like, your mama just threw you all the way under the bus, sir. Really, she did. And if that's the case, then I'm not mad at Mama D. I'm like, why would I want to go into business with y'all when y'all can't ever get your own personal business together? I don't want no parts of it. They want her because they know she can cook. And if I was Mama D, I would go ahead and do your food truck thing or whatever like that, because that ends up being a big central part of the end of the episode. Which Erica is kind of like, well, Mama D, what are you doing? I thought that you were going to be, helping us with the restaurant. And Mama D is like, I don't want no parts of y'all business, to be quite real, but they still pressing her on it. I don't know why I'm not interested in that storyline, but I was interested in what she did air out about Scrappy. And I did go back to what Bambi had been saying in previous seasons about him. And I'm like, ooh, now I know who was telling the truth, allegedly. So then, everybody gathers together, just about, not everybody, but, they come out to the event for, Mama D, or I think it was for Mama D. I honestly can't understand it, because there was a car wash going on, some girls with the Daisy Dukes on. I want you to look at them girls with the Daisy Dukes. So they was out there washing the car. So, Chaotic is there because he got, if he can eat, he gonna eat. Zell is there. And Zell, we learn, is the bisexual. And I think Zell has maybe mentioned that before. And so we learned that while Zell was in the Mexico, that he had the relations with the lady. I don't know who the lady is. So Saucy didn't hear that, I don't think. So when Saucy arrives, everybody's looking at the two of them like, well, what's going on with y'all? And Saucy's like, we cool. And Zell is like, we could be cooler. And Saucy's like, no, it can't be like none of that. And I'm like, you gonna tell Zell that you was linking back up with your ex or no? Because I guess if y'all free to do what y'all want to do, Zell can go make love to the lady and Saucy can go get married to D or whatever like that, right? But Zell, mind you, is doing this scene having had a tooth pulled. Now, let me just say this to y'all. You are a G if you can go film a scene and you just had your tooth pulled. unless you had to pull it like 2-3 days ago, because that mamma jamma does not feel good. If you've ever had, raise your hand if you've ever had a tooth yanked up out of your mouth by the dentist. Here, high. I have. And let me tell you, it is no joke. Now, I have done it, and y'all probably didn't even know, because I'm a worker bee. I get to work. I go to work. That's a Big Daddy Kane. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Anyway, so I was like, oh, he talking with the mush mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, for real, like, you just got a tooth pulled. You a G. I'm telling you, he's a G for that, okay? Because I would have been like, I cannot film today with you. No, okay? But he said, I'm going to get this coin. So then it's time for Zell to sit down with Sierra. Now, this is the wildest conversation to me, because she is sitting up there with the Limp Biscuit leg, okay? She got to prop the leg up, and he got the mush mouth because he didn't got a tooth pulled. So they having this... So they having this one-on-one Ponderosa with him with the mush mouth, can barely talk, okay, and her with the Limp Biscuit leg raised up. It is just like, what in tarnation is happening right now? She can't barely understand what he's saying. He trying to tell her she fake. She trying to describe why she not fake. And all the while I'm thinking to myself, what in the disability is happening right now? Y'all need to resume this conversation on another day. She can't understand you, and you do not believe nothing that she got to say anyway. So in my mind, I just felt like this to me was comedic gold. When you really think about it, and she's like, I can't even understand what you're saying. We're going to have to talk again on another day. I was like, I agree. Regardless, he was like, I got to go. My mouth hurt. I don't know. Anyway, it was funny to me. Okay. So y'all know what? I can make an episode fun. Woo! So anyway, y'all, I'm about to go. I have held y'all long enough on the line. But no, for real. I am in the process of finishing this ebook in a day course. I'm just about filmed 80% of the recorded content for it. I'm hoping to be done this week and hoping to launch it fully next week. For those of you guys who are interested, type ebook down in the chatterization. This is for anybody that's ever wanted to write an ebook. I have provided the verbiage for you, the template for you. I go through my process for doing it easily so that you can get it done in a day. You can write it in a day. You can format it in a day. You can sell it in the same day. Okay. That is my mission. So for those of you guys who are interested in learning how to write an ebook, this will carry you through writing a book on any subject. Okay. Any subject. I am super excited about this. The first cohort that I did, I learned a lot and I put everything into the course. So I'm excited about it. So anyway, with that being said, like you guys already know, we are going to Thailand in March. I have told people I have the 2 $100 off coupons. They expire on August the 10th, I believe. So whoever snatches them up, then they're gone. We still have a couple of spots left for Bali in September. I am going on a friend's trip to Tokyo at the end of October. I have a couple more trips lined up, and I have an investment opportunity trip as well coming up in April. So there's a lot that is happening. So stay tuned and stay tapped in so that, you can be a part of whatever you want to be a part of. I am just here to be a conduit to helping people travel the world. Okay. So with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.